Hello and welcome to my fourth video. I thought I would talk about grief and overcoming difficulties since we're all going through a lot. So for me with grief, that was really a very big lesson for me to learn. I carried grief majority of my life and I didn't know how to heal from that, but I have. So for me, this is what I did to basically heal from grief. So the first thing I had to do was forgive. Forgiveness work like Ho'oponopono, Hawaiian meditation, is really amazing. If you can do that every time something's bothering you, like some situation, whether it's with you, family, friends, just forgive. It's a bit of a mantra. It does a lot of releases, and what it does when you forgive, it basically cuts ties to your attachments of the way things should be. Because when you have some issue, you actually got horizontal cords of attachment to that person or that issue or that situation. And when you forgive, you let go of that. So it sets you free to feel different, to move on. To understand, to let new experiences come in. It's really important. And why I say forgiveness is a big part of grief work, because first of all, you're doing it for you, but a lot of people don't forgive themselves. They hate themselves for something, and when you're dealing with the loss of someone you love or some tragedy, you know, sometimes you blame yourself. And so for me, you know, I blamed myself for many things, and I had to start by forgiving myself for everything that I thought that I should have done and I didn't, and realizing that I'm only human and I did my best. So that was really important. So following on from from forgiveness, we go on to changing the perspective around. So there are many different ways to look at a situation, and you'll have to figure this one out for yourself, but you want to change the way you look at it. Try and understand the situation, understand the people, why they did what they did, what you did. People try their best, and sometimes they just don't meet what you expect them to meet. Like, you know, change your perspective around as best you can to see from as many different perspectives, from their perspective, from yours, what reasons were there. Have a real think about it and see if you can try and understand the situation on a deeper level, and that will help and tie into basically the letting go and the release of attachments. Attachments to the person, to particular outcomes and expectations, because grief can be tied into that. You know, you can really want something to go a certain way, and it could be your attachments and your expectations, and on a soul level that person, you know, wasn't supposed to go down that path, or they chose not to. When people get distressed, unfortunately they die. Death comes, and like, it's really difficult because we can blame ourselves or others, but really at the end of the day, it's understanding that that person was distressed and that there was an exit point in their life and they chose to leave. So that's part of letting go, just understanding it. And then there comes the acceptance of the way things are, accepting, like, I'm using death as an example, it's a really big one. Just acceptance of what happened, the way things turned out. They may not be what you wanted, but to just come to peace with it, come to terms with it. And then you have to just surrender to the unknown. You don't know what the future is. You don't know what will happen. But when you just accept and surrender and just let go of everything, like, you go into love. The love comes back, and then you start to feel that love for the person, for what was, for you, and you heal. And it's a very difficult process and can be lengthy, but this is how I've overcome grief, and it's very powerful and it's personal. So everyone has to find their own way through it, but yeah, you can come out the other end. That's something I wanted to share with people. So next I'm going to talk about manifestation. It's something that a lot of people are talking about now, and it's important to know how to do it properly. So first you need to be aware that once you learn to manifest, if you haven't cleared out your blockages in your subconscious, which is basically from past bad experiences and your family's belief systems that you're not consciously aware of, it's just how you're running a program, they can interfere with how you manifest. And a big one is money. A lot of people have belief lack of money, or you have to work super hard to earn money or something. That's stopping them from having what they actually want, or a smoother ride. So I worked out manifestation back in 2018, and I'll just take you through it. Basically, you have an idea or a dream. You think of something that you want, then you play around with it, and you start to create. You be creative with it. What's an example? Let's do a house, right? Okay, so I have an idea and a dream of a house. So then I play around with the idea of having a house, and I, get pictures that I cut out, and I think about it, and I draw it, and I talk about it, and, sort of create, in my reality, what would it be like if I had that house? And that's sort of just play around with the creativity of what if that was happening. Then basically the application and plan. So this is the little steps you take towards getting there. So doors start to open, and things start to present themselves, and just little steps by step, who you talk to, things that you do, basically you start to take mini steps to get towards what you want, and you plan. Things like that and other things need a plan of implementation. So you have your dot points or whatever, and you put a plan forward, and then towards the end it's just completion and focus. So you're just finishing off what you started, and you're doing it, and a lot of focus on getting it the way you need it. So that's how I manifest, and all of that comes from the heart. So a lot of the manifestation is not from the head, it's from the heart. So it's that heartfelt sort of prayer, if you like. So you really got to feel it in your heart. Your mind's got to align with that. So I know I'm using a house as an example, but if your heart, if you really need a house and you really align with your mind, then the third is the manifesting. So bringing it into form, which is really playing with energy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think I should put down a couple of things besides the subconscious mind holding people back as obstacles. Just also be aware that you can't influence free will. You can't make someone fall in love with you. You can't make someone do anything. So when it comes to manifesting, it's kind of like a general thing, and then what you put out there in energetic form, you attract. So you'll attract what you're seeking, but it won't necessarily be that house or that person or that job. You will just attract the energy of that. And if it's not exactly what you're looking for, just keep going with the manifesting until a time when you do find exactly what you want. So that's how I look at it. It's more to do with energy and magnets attracting each other, rather than basically what we like to think of as, I want this and I get it. It doesn't work that way. So the next thing I want to talk about is basically how to change negative thoughts around. I did mention previously not to think them, and that they dissipate in 5D, you just don't have them. Basically what I did to raise my vibration was a big one. So negative thoughts are connected to lower feelings and lower emotions and lower vibrations. So you want to try and get yourself feeling relaxed and happy, basically. And that's all about how you perceive things. So I changed my perception around. Instead of like, you know, thinking like lack of, the glass is half empty, I would start to see the opportunities and the glass is half full. I would think of anything and everything that would cheer me up. And basically, I had issues with control. So I had controlling parents, and I was controlling myself. So that was a big one for me to overcome. So what I did with that, with all my thoughts that were just making me stressed, basically, I learned to change the way I was talking to myself and talk to myself a lot kinder and give myself time and flexibility, and basically with everything just change the way I spoke to myself and put love with it. Like every task that I did, make sure that it's enjoyable, that I'm not really like being controlling or pushy or anything, that I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, that I want to do it, and that there's love with it, the way I say it, the way I do it. And yeah, just building that up in place of the new habits. So it takes a little while, but you're basically breaking an old habit and putting in place a new one. So most of us probably don't talk to ourselves as nicely as we do to others, but you know, you can sort of change that. You can see yourself as another person that's worthy of your time, your energy and love, and change the way you talk to yourself. You know, being super nice, and when you do things, like if you're really tired, go rest. You know, if you're not feeling up for it, don't do it. Like, do things and do them with love. And now I put in there, like, you know, passion and excitement. So when I do things, I want to do it. Even if it's washing the dishes or doing some boring task, I don't think of it as boring. I think of it like, you know, if I wash the dishes, like it's fun because I like water, I like the water temperature, I like the suds. You know, when I'm done, like, it's just going to be nice, it's going to be clean, and I don't have to worry about it anymore the next day. So I just try to find like ways where I can make it fun, I can make it enjoyable. Like washing dishes, depending how you feel, can be fun or it can be not fun. So every task I put that into it, and that changes how I feel and changes the negativity into positivity. So I guess the way I've overcome it is changing that, and basically turning my lemons into lemonade. So when people are very negative around me or have given me a hard time, I will take the negativity and I will practice in my mind. For every negative comment or thought, I'll change it into something positive, because half the time they're just not feeling good. And most people, when they speak, it's a reflection of themselves. So it's interesting when you start to understand that people project more than anything else. So yeah, when you hear people say things, like, you stop taking it personally when you realize it has more to do with them than you. And just any negativity, just turn it around to something positive, because it's their stuff and not yours. And sometimes you can help them by helping them see things in a different light or a more positive way, but for every negative there's a positive. So it's kind of a game I was playing for a very long time, and it works really, really well, you know, because you can see the glass is half empty or half full, and it makes a big difference. And it's much better to see the glass is half full and see all the opportunities, and you know, have hope in your life and have love in your life. It's better. I mean, why would you want to be in a negative headspace and attract to you experiences that reinforce that and make you feel worse? And then you just believe it, when really you're creating that, because you create what you believe. If you started to believe in love, you'd find it. If you didn't believe in love and you thought everyone was horrible, that's what you would get. It literally doesn't change until you change how you think and feel. So having said that, it is very powerful, and yeah, I'll just leave it there for now.